all the tools you need to tap in. Will you be like full on psychic in 5 days? No. No, I'm not promising that. But will you have all of, I don't know why this is like natural light, so I don't know why it's doing this weird thing. Hold on. Let's see if we can, there we go. So after these 5 days, you'll have all the tools and you can go back to them consistently to see kind of how your skills are improving, what maybe like intuitive gifts that you want to have. So that's my goal at the end of the 5 days, is for you to understand how to tap in. And I just also want to say, like, getting into your gifts, tapping into your psychic abilities, these are practices. So like a yoga practice, a meditation practice, these are things that you're going to continually have to do every day. And when you stop doing them, you'll find that you become a little bit disconnected. So it's important that what we go over for the next 5 days, that you're consistently doing all the time, and that's how you're going to notice those big shifts and changes. All right, everybody ready? I'm going to really try my best to like make these videos under 20 minutes so that you can get in, get what you need, and just head on out. So my name is Sarah Prophet, and I am a spiritual advisor. I help you tap into the spiritual world in whatever way that you would like, meaning I work with various people in various religions and spiritual practices. So my job is to help you tap in to your psychic abilities, your intuitive gifts, and by using your physical body and by using your religion or your belief system. So I'm never here to try to change what you believe in. And I may use the word God or universe, higher power, and I'm really talking about that higher energy that's outside of you. And that's kind of the level that you're gonna tap into when you're becoming psychic. You're tapping into this universal brain, let's say, and however you kind of feel good in your body to talk about that. Is that God? Is it higher self? Maybe if you're atheist and you don't really believe in a higher power, but you believe that maybe you have like a higher source yourself. So this doesn't have anything to do with religion. It's just tapping into your gifts that you already have. And so that's what I like to do with people. So I discovered my gifts really, really young. I remember seeing ghosts and spirits as a kid. Maybe you did too. Like if you have a story, or like if you're like, I definitely saw spirits as a kid, put it below. I would love to know. And I remember, kind of like telling people that random things about, themselves, and they're like, how does this child know this? And just like really weird things. And then I remember feeling shame around that. I remember people saying, well, you're a know-it-all. Or I remember people saying, you sound a little bit weird or crazy, or maybe that happened to you too. And so you felt shame around your intuitive gifts, which for me led to shutting it all down through the use of drugs and alcohol, completely numbing myself, numbing my gifts, numbing my memories, numbing my psychic abilities. Hardcore drug use and alcohol abuse, let's say, really numbs your gifts. Disconnects you completely from your physical body, which is the whole point, right? Which is why you get wasted, because you don't want to be in your body. And so doing those things are gonna numb all of your gifts. They're gonna numb kind of who you are. And we know that, right? So I, all through my early, let's say late teens to don't, how do I block this person? I don't know how, but no, you cannot come in here and do that. That's so fucking weird. Okay. Sorry. Don't message that person. Just saying. Okay, so my late teens to, yeah, it's fucking weird. Don't do that. I would never do that to you. I would never say, fucking message me for a reading. No, I wouldn't. No. What was I saying? Late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, just like full on numb mode, like just wasted, blackouts, all the things. And I was totally disconnected from my physical body. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I'm not like super into that, so I would definitely appreciate it. Thank you. And I started to realize I did it with alcohol, drugs, food, relationships, anything I could do to disconnect from my body. And that might be you too. So I always tell people when we're doing this work, when we're going to like getting our psychic abilities and doing all these things, I do want to preface it. You might feel pain before you begin to feel the pleasure of manifestation and of psychic abilities and your intuitive gifts, because you're working through shame, you're working through your shadows, you're working through all of these things before your gifts will come. So that's important for you to note in this next 5 days and for however long you're tapping into your gifts, that you will always be processing shadows, that you will always be processing things from your past, and you'll be healing. It's a journey, and it's a journey and it's a practice. So if things feel a little bit hard, if I suggest for you to do something and things are feeling a little bit difficult, that's totally normal. So keep moving past this. What I usually tell people is you'll feel pain, that suffering feeling, the like, wow, oh my gosh, reflecting on your past. You'll feel that. It'll probably turn into then a neutral feeling about the past and about the future. Then you'll start to hit pleasure. This journey and path could take a day, it could take months, it could take years. So try not to put a time limit on it, and know that if you're just constantly doing the practice, everything that you want, all of your gifts will come through. Just, you might have to do some shadow work. So just preface that with that, because I think that a lot of people try to bypass that. They try to bypass the shame they felt for their gifts. They try to bypass the times that they neglected their body. They try to bypass that. And it's really important that you do that forgiveness work and that shadow work previous to really, really tapping in. So after I was able to kind of tap into my physical body and really understand the psychic gifts, they come in your physical body. So I just, like, my own personal experience I'm happening now, I've been getting a weird, well, it first started out with the eye twitch, right? And I started doing some work. It's on my right eye, which is our mother's side. Okay, so I have been doing some mother work around my mother wound. And I noticed my eye was twitching a little bit. And so I thought to myself, well, let's see if we can move this energy. And so I moved the energy through journaling, boundary work, you name it, all the shadow stuff, and moved it. And then my right hand started to twitch a little bit. And so now it's moved out of my body. It's no longer twitching, and we're feeling solid and grounded in our practices. But that's one of my signs is when my right side of the body starts to feel things, I know that I should probably do work around my mother wound. Our left side is like our masculine, so if we're feeling pain or uncomfortable or anything going on in our neck or just weird wrist pains, we can start to see that when we experience things in our physical body, it's actually your intuitive gifts coming through. Another easy one that a lot of people have, and you're gonna see why this is important: gut issues, digestive issues. Most likely, if you are having gut issues, if you're having digestive issues, I can guarantee you're probably having some self-worth stuff. So if you tap into your own body, right? You tap in and you say to yourself, okay, like, I'm having these gut issues. I'm also feeling a little disconnected from my own worth. So you start to tap into your worth. Why do we tap into the physical body? To understand our psychic gifts, which are coming from our source. Because source made your body as a map to understanding everything. You shouldn't need anything outside of your body to tap into your psychic gifts. And this is why I wanted to really get into this. People say that you need crystals, or you need certain oils, or maybe to use a pendulum, or to use tarot cards, oracle cards. Any of those tools are amazing, and I totally encourage you to use them, but they shouldn't be the absolute way that you tap into your gifts. Your gifts are inside of you. You do not need any outside tools to access them, but those tools will help and guide you to understanding your gifts as your physical body is representing them. So here's why we're talking about the physical body. Because tomorrow we're actually going to go into what Claire's you might have, okay? So clairs are the way that we experience our psychic abilities, meaning some people see spirits, some people hear things, some people smell things, some people just feel it through their third eye, some people feel it in their body. So we need to understand our physical body and be connected to it so we know what psychic gifts we actually have, because not everybody has, not everybody's claircognizant, which means that they just know things. That's not everybody. Sometimes you just feel it and you don't actually know, but you feel something. Or maybe you don't, maybe you are one that hear, maybe you have like buzzing or ringing in your ears. Now you want to get it like physically checked, make sure there's something wrong. But if, sometimes if I'm getting a psychic download, what it will look like is my ears will almost feel like a bubble goes around them. And then I'll feel like a swishing sound. And I'll know that that's the time I need to tap in. That's the time that a message might be coming through. I'm also a medium, so that might be a spirit coming to send me something. And it usually happens if somebody's in front of me and their guide or ancestor is trying to come through, I'll have that feeling come over my ears, and it'll kind of be like a, I don't really know how to describe it. So that doesn't happen for everybody. Some people just see. You just see people's energy. You feel it. So that's why we want to tap into the physical body before we even go into anything like outside of us. We need to make sure we're grounded in our body. So I am going to, I have notes for this. So what we're going to do is the first practice that I recommend, that if you're trying to tap into the outside of your body, because that's what psychic abilities are and your intuitive gifts, is they're outside of your own physical body and they're actually in your energy field. So when we are tapping in, we are essentially, if we want to look at it like this, let's say you go take a trip, okay? But you don't remember where you live, like where your home is, okay? Like you forget. And you go on your trip, let's say, you're going wherever, you're getting on a plane, you go on your trip, and then you're ready to go back home. And somebody goes, okay, well, where do you live? We can book a plane or whatever. And you say, shoot, I don't remember where I live. Let's think about how that's going to feel in your body. You're going to feel like, what? I don't know how to get home. I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be anxious. Probably, I would, if I don't know where I live. I'm gonna feel like, how can I get back there? I'm gonna feel like, who can help me? I'm gonna feel like all of these feelings, right? I'm gonna start to feel anxiety and I'm gonna anxiousness for not knowing where I live. This is what happens when you try to go and do when you try to connect psychically, when you try to do psychic work or intuitive energy work without feeling at home in your body. Your physical body is your home. It literally is. It's where your spirit, your soul, your energy, where everything is. It's the only place that you always are, is in the physical body. So if you don't feel at home and grounded in your physical body, and you go to leave to do some psychic work, because when we're doing psychic work, we're doing intuitive work, yes, we're tapping into the physical body, but we're also connecting with the outside energetic source. So if I'm tapping into an outside energetic source, but I don't know how to come back down from that, how are you going to feel? And this is probably, if you have psychic gifts and you know you do, but you don't know how to control them, and you feel anxious, you feel overwhelmed, you feel like I can connect, but I don't know how to turn it all off. I don't know how to disconnect. I see spirits and I don't know what to do. I don't always want to see them. This is why, because you're not grounded and you're not in your body. So the first thing that I teach tomorrow we'll be really getting into it, but today is really about coming home to your body, feeling grounded in your body. So there's a couple of things that I want you to do in order to feel that way. So if you've never done any grounding work, grounding, I would say 101 is to go outside, put your feet on the ground, and literally just imagine that you are growing roots into the earth. That's one of the easiest ways to do it. It's not always though, if you're trying to ground down and you're in the store, that can be a little bit difficult to be I have to go outside and take my shoes off and go stand on the grass. So I do that, but you might not feel super comfortable yet. So The best thing that I can tell you to do so that you're constantly staying grounded throughout the day, or just even doing it in the morning and afternoon, is mirror work. I want you to sit in front of a mirror. It doesn't matter. You can be standing in your bathroom mirror. You can be sitting in like a, if you have like a mirror that you use for like your vanity or whatever. It's better if you can see your whole body, but start where you are. If you're really uncomfortable in your physical body, maybe you feel like you need to lose weight, or you don't feel like quite comfortable in your physical body, then start from here up and slowly exposing yourself more to the mirror. If you've been doing mirror work or you feel comfortable in your body, then feel free to have your entire body in front of the mirror. So start where you are. So don't feel like you have to get really, really uncomfortable in this practice. Start slow and just kind of work your way in. When you're doing the mirror work, the point is to feel comfortable in your body. Where are your scars? What do they mean to you? How do you feel about, like quote unquote imperfections that you have? What are the things that you would notice about yourself in the mirror? Are they positive or are they negative? Because if I only notice negative things about myself in the mirror, I'm not gonna feel comfortable coming back to it because it doesn't feel like home. So how can you embody your physical body more so that you feel at home? This is seriously the key to understanding your intuitive and psychic gifts, is feeling at home in your physical body. I find way too often that people don't do this mirror work, people don't do these practices. They're elevating themselves constantly, going into deep meditation, and you find, you've probably met these people that you feel like they're not really connected to any sort of like reality, which is fine, I think, if you don't have kids. And we need people like that. We need people that are just fully elevated and not really in this reality. But when you have kids and when you have like responsibilities that you do actually have to be present in this physical world, you don't need to be like disconnected all the time. You need to be here on earth too. So that's why I recommend grounding, especially just if you're like needing to be here on earth, which isn't everybody. Some people can just stay elevated all the time, and that's okay. So for me though, I like to feel grounded in my body. And the way that I do that, the easiest way is going out into the earth or mirror work. So here's some questions. This is going to be your homework that you can ask yourself in the mirror, directly to yourself. So if I was looking at myself in the mirror, I would say, what do you need today to feel supported? What would help you feel supported today? And I would think about it and I would ask. Then I would say, what would make you feel more at home in this body? What would be easier for you to look at your body and love it? What are some things that you don't love about your body right now? And how can we change that to, I feel really good in this body, okay? This mirror work is going to help you tap in quicker to your intuitive gifts and to your psychic abilities than any sort of meditation, than any sort of like chakra clearing or healing. And we're gonna go through all of that during this 5-day course. But the most important thing is to feel good in the physical body, because you want to be able to come home back to the body. It's the only thing that you have. We're not jumping bodies here. I can't take my soul and put it into another body. So I've got to feel at home in the one that I am currently in, okay? So that's what I want you to do, is really work on grounding yourself in the present and physical body today. And then that is what you're going to do before we do any of the other practices that we're going to explain over the next 5 days. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about the clairs. So these are how you interpret your psychic messages. So that's that either hearing, the seeing, the feeling, smell. There's all these sorts of like people taste things. I don't have that one, but I feel like that would be really cool. Like they get their intuitive hits by tasting. So like my grandma loves pound cake. So sometimes I know that like mediums will be like, I taste pound cake. Does anybody love pound cake here? And I would be like, oh, my grandma. She's like, oh, she's here. So that's just a really cool gift. I don't have it. And you can get whatever gifts that you want, but it's just not something I've ever been interested in. So you get to pick and choose your intuitive gifts, basically. If you don't want to see spirits, you don't have to. You don't have to turn that on. So it's basically like we're going to learn how to turn on each of our senses so that we're more sensitive to different things. So that's kind of what we're doing. And I think that that's a really cool thing to learn, is understanding what senses you actually want turned on and what senses you're not really comfortable with right now. So we're going to understand our clairs, and then we're going to understand in like a very short amount of time how to ground down, how to tap into your gifts, and how to also start to read not only for yourself but other people. So that's what we're going to be doing in the 5 days. So if you've been wanting to understand how you read other people's energy, we're going to be doing that today. So your homework is the mirror work and grounding. I want you to do it all day if you can. Even if you're just like, if you're working and you like go by a mirror, I want you to be like, I love you. Keep it moving, okay? So it can be that simple, but the deeper you go with the work, the easier it is as going to be tapping into your psychic gifts. So if you have any questions, post them below in the video. If you want to share any experiences that come up when you're grounding, you can post them in this group, because I would love to know if you start to ground and you feel unsure about it or you don't really understand how. Please ask questions. I am here for you all this week. This is my focus this week, is like purely this course and this group. I want you to leave with all the tools after this 5 days so that you can actually tap into your psychic gifts and you're not left questioning, maybe not feeling in control of them or questioning how to access them. So any questions, you can post them in the comments or you can post them in the group. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. tomorrow. It'll be 10 a.m. all week to keep it easy, and the replays will be here. And yeah, have a great day. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this.